According to studies, finances are one of the biggest stressors in a relationship when spouses tend to disagree on how finances are handled or financial decisions. So in this video, we're going to talk through some of the worst financial decisions that we've seen clients make and how to be proactive and avoid them. So Matt, what are some of the worst financial decisions in your 12 years of being a financial advisor?
Really dating me there. It's actually been close to 14 years now. But so first of all, the characteristics that have come along with bad decisions are, one is really just a lack of time. And so when there's a lack of time and there's stress involved with a really busy, demanding career, such as if you're an executive, a business owner, a physician, typically decisions have to be made in high stress environments. But making those high stress environments for yourself, we've seen is a very common trait when making a bad decision in the end. Is it was usually a very rushed, a very quick, and not something that was well thought out. And normally something that we get hired to help unwind. So we recommend before making a big decision, one of the biggest value adds a financial advisor can provide is to help take the time to think through what is the best decision in the context of a financial plan. So the biggest mistakes that we have seen typically when rushed are buying a house in a new area before seeing if your new job or career you like and before seeing if that job really likes you. There's a lot of statistics about how many times people switch jobs or move. And so buying a house in advance of your first day on the job, this is very common with physicians who finish residency or fellowship. They sign a contract, maybe in a different state, and they start looking to live. Well, we've rented all of residency, we're finally gonna become homeowners. You buy right away before seeing school districts, before seeing commute times, before seeing traffic, before all of these different factors of the culture that you're gonna be engraved in, we find is a mistake. So make sure that you do research, you make sure you like the job likes you, potentially renting for 6 to 12 months, even though there's the annoyance factor of moving twice, can solve a lot of these issues. The second biggest mistake we've seen is when a client signs a contract for employment without reviewing what the terms are for how they're compensated, what the non-compete is, what geographic location they're actually expected to work in, if that's even defined. And so having a professional review an employment contract at a high level if you're an executive, physician, etc., can be very crucial to help unwind a bad thing. A good plan can always get you through a bad time, and so the pre-work done in advance of these decisions can sometimes be the saving grace on the back end if something needs unwound. And then the third biggest mistake we see is when a client hires us for the retirement distribution planning, if all they've focused on during their accumulation stage of life in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s is saving taxes, even though there's the adage of get tax breaks now because we're going to be in a lower tax bracket later in retirement, may be true because your kids are out of your house, your debt is paid off, such as your mortgage or student loans. If you pile too much money that save you taxes along the way, that money is going to get taxed when you take it out, and the government does have a couple of bombs that could go off during retirement, such as marginal tax brackets, which do rise and you may not have control of if you have 2 Social Securities paying you, and you have required minimum distributions that are determined based upon IRS tables from any pre-tax 401k or IRA, that even though you may not need the money, there's going to be a 50% penalty if you don't take the distribution out, and that distribution hits as a fully taxable event. So even for someone that was spending $20 a month, now going to spend $10 a month, well, you may be back to spending $20 a month, or at least showing $20 a month of income because those accounts are so big. So doing balanced and proactive planning with looking not only how your accounts affect you in the future, as well as how they affect you today, is key in avoiding that third mistake. Typically, for guidance on how to avoid any big mistakes like these, a philosophy in place with how decision making is made is very important. So typically when evaluating a financial decision, we recommend to balance 3 factors. The first factor is, what are the returns you're going to get? Are they good? Are they bad? Secondly is this going to save you time, or is this going to create more time? And then the third factor is, does this give you peace of mind? Are you going to sleep well at night after this decision? And if you're really looking at all 3 factors, all 3 of those together in a balanced way, it's really hard to make a bad decision if you're weighing all of those three factors into it. The second exercise we recommend to do is to do a values conversation. So, look up 50 values, or we have a deck of cards we actually use, narrow those down to the top 5 if you're married per spouse, and then apply each of those values. Maybe it's autonomy, maybe it's family, maybe it's health that's important. How do those factors apply into the decision that is being made? Because usually there's 5 to 10 big financial decisions that can be make it or break it decisions over someone's 40-year working career, and making sure those are healthy decisions can really define your financial security and ultimately your financial independence in the end. Any questions on a big decision, we welcome. These are some of the favorite conversations and most enjoyable, impactful conversations that we have with our clients on a day-to-day basis.